What's good, YouTube? Welcome to the Epic Sports Critics. I am Antoine. I just want to talk about some sports that happened over the weekend. It was a pretty good weekend, pretty busy. A few things happened. It was a fight, the NBA Finals, the NHL Finals, and nothing too much going on in the NFL. But you know, we still gonna give a little discussion on everything. So let's talk about this fight. It was Terence Crawford, Terence Bud Crawford versus Jeff the Hornet Horn. So this fight went like I predicted. As you see, watch a previous video of mine, I even predicted the round. I predicted a nice round TKO by Terence Bud Crawford. So let's talk a little bit about the events that led up to the fight. Now, Jeff the Hornet Horn is from Australia. He is 18-0. He was 18-0 before last night, and he fought Pacquiao. He actually came up with the split decision over Pacquiao. I believe he was just a tune-up fight for Pacquiao, or he was kind of a cherry pick for Pacquiao. Pacquiao wasn't looking to fight nobody big, and you know they had Jeff Horn, and Jeff Horn won that fight. He used a lot of dirty tactics though. He did a lot of roughhousing, headbutts, elbows, and they fought in Australia too. The odds was really stacked against Pacquiao on that fight because they fought in Australia. It was middle of the day. It was outside. It looked like it was hot as hell. And I'm like, I don't even know why Pacquiao agreed to all that. I think some fuckery went on there with Bob Arum. I'm pretty sure Bob Arum wanted to get that belt away from Pacquiao, so he kind of stacked the deck on him. And so Jeff Horn surprisingly beat Pacquiao for the belt, the WBO welterweight belt. And Terence Bud Crawford just unified at 140. It was nobody else at 140 with a belt. Terence Bud Crawford ended up with all 4 belts in 140. He beat Julius Ondongo for the last 140 belt, and with a third round knockout for the body shot. Matter of fact, it was a good shot. That was actually a pretty good fight too. And and so after he unified, he decided to move up. He moved up to 147 to the welterweight division. Now the welterweight division is pretty hot right now. Welterweight division always been a good division. A lot of great fighters came up out of that division. You got Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Mayweather, De La Hoya. So, you know, a lot of big names came out that division. It's a good division. So right now it's one of the best divisions now. And so Terence Crawford wanted to move up to that division to show that, you know, he is the best in the world. He's one of the best in the world, and he wanted that notoriety. So he had to move up to fight better competition. So he moved up to 147. His first fight will be against Jeff Horn because Jeff Horn had the belt. Now, this fight here, everybody that know boxing pretty much picked Terence Crawford to win. This is the thing. Jeff Horn is a tough guy. He's a tough, scrappy guy, but his skills aren't there. His skills aren't there yet. Not on Terence Crawford level, and nobody even expected him to beat Pacquiao. So he came out with this win. He came out with this win using roughhouse tactics, and he made the best of it. You know, he's getting a movie and a book or something. I don't know. So he's making the best of that. His little 15 minutes of fame. But the thing is, once he got the belt, he started calling out, you know, major names. He started calling out like Earl Spence and Keith Thurman and stuff. I'm like, okay, bro. Like I don't know what you own, but okay. So I really like that this fight went this way because honestly, we can get real fighters that has the belts at that weight class. And no disrespect to Jeff Horn, but he don't belong up there with the elites for us having a belt. So I don't need no confusion on who's the best. And people like, well, won't he fight Jeff Horn? No. Take the trash out and let's get all the elites. So now we got at 147. This fight went like I thought it was gonna go. Jeff Horn was gonna come charging at him. He was gonna try to use a lot of his roughhouse tactics, a lot of his grabbing and headbutting, elbowing, rabbit punching, hitting on the break, things like that. And then, and that's the stuff he was trying to do. But what people found out that even though Terence Crawford was moving up, he is actually naturally a welterweight. He wasn't small. Horn looked a little bigger than him for his weight-wise, in which Horn had trouble making weight to begin with. He had a little trouble with him weight-wise, but size, being height, and all that. No, Crawford was not that small, and he did not get pushed around. And anytime Jeff Horn kind of tried to grab him and do a lot of his roughhouse tactics, it didn't really work. He was ready for it, and it was just a beautiful performance by Terence Crawford. I mean, the precision on his punches, it was like just clean shots, just all day, just tagging him with clean shots, clean body shots. Now that's where I give Jeff Horn some credit, because he was taking hard shots, and he kept fighting. He kept fighting while taking a lot of hard shots. It was like a couple body shots I thought would have did it, but he kept fighting. So I give him credit for being a tough guy. Not the best boxer to me, but he's a real tough guy. Terence Crawford hit him with a lot of good flush uppercuts, hooks, just every punch in the book, So the ref went on ahead, stopped it in round 9. I personally thought that the stoppage was just a little too early. Now I know that Jeff Horn probably wasn't going to come back. He was clearly losing. He was getting his ass whooped, but he wasn't in so much trouble that it looked like he didn't know where he was at or he was out on his feet. He just was basically getting taken to school, but I don't feel like he was hurt so bad that he couldn't continue. Now that could have been up to his corner or him to go ahead and throw in the towel, but those little scrappy guys, they're not gonna quit. I feel like they could have let it go on for another round or two, or see if Crawford could have got the knockout. I don't think he would have went down, but he was rattling him. He was just knocking them all around the ring. But he, like I said, he was actually recovering every time he got rattled. He recovered, and he, still fought back a little bit. So I thought the stoppage was just a little too early. But I'm not mad at the ref for stopping it though, because he was clearly getting really worked. So so it was a beautiful performance by Terence Bud Crawford. Jeff Horn is going to go back down where probably where he belonged, and that's with the Germans and the the German fighters and the job squad, people that just there just for a job. I mean, and I ain't trying to talk about the guy. I think he's a decent B class fighter, but he shouldn't have been up there with the elite. He was way outclassed. Shouldn't have been there in the first place. He got lucky, when he beat Pacquiao. So up there trying to, and then he talking stuff like he won't something with Earl Spence, and they would kill you, boy. So for real, I don't want to disrespect the guy because he got a lot of heart, but skill wise, he don't need to be up there with the elites. He shouldn't even be mentioned with the elites, and I'm glad that this fight went the way it went, just so I don't have to waste time, dealing with talking about, I don't have to waste time talking about somebody that shouldn't be even in the elite class. You know what I'm saying? So moving forward, I want to see Terence Crawford. I really like to see Terence Crawford against Errol Spence or Keith Thurman. I wanted to see one of those fights, and I'm mad because I feel like, Bob Arum ain't gonna let that happen because that's a super fight right now. Those are the two best at the division. They both undefeated. These guys are in a prime. They undefeated, and they can go and fight everybody else. Why can't they fight each other? Promoters do not like to do super fights too early. They like to wait and get more money as they milk it as much as they can, especially if they feel like their fighter could lose and they know they'll lose a lot of money and they don't want to lose all that cachet that the fighter built up if they take a loss. But it makes me mad as a fan because I can't see the best fights that's out there because promoters want to milk it, and I'm getting tired of that, So right now, the next fight for Terence Crawford that I want to see either Errol Spence or Keith Thurman, one of the top guys at 147, and that has a belt, or I could take Danny Garcia, somebody that is proven, that's tough at 147. That's what I want to see. Those are the top guys. So since he got a belt, I really don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear no excuses from Bob saying, "Oh well, he's going to fight this guy first." Some guy we never heard of, some journeyman fighter that you just want to make some quick money off of. I mean, I'm sick of that. The top guys are there. They all ready to go. They all young. They all healthy. For some reason, you always got a reason that they shouldn't fight each other. So yeah, that's the next fight I'm looking for. Jeff Horn, I don't want to see him no more. Seriously, he don't need to be mentioned in this top class of fighters. So that should be the end of that. And tell the truth, he's been fighting down anyway. He's probably naturally a 154. He's probably naturally a junior middleweight. He need to go to that division and see if he can do something with that division. I doubt it. But, he could be the next opponent for like Alvarez. He could be the next opponent for Alvarez, or somebody, that could be his little tune-up fight, coming off his steroids scandal or whatever he got going on. So yeah, it was a excellent fight, man. Haven't seen a beautiful display of boxing like that in a while. It was very one-sided, but I expected it to be one-sided. And like I said, Horn didn't belong in there, but he made it that far, so he deserved that shot. He got his shot, and now he's done. So moving forward, like I said, Terence Crawford is now the champion at 147, the WBO champion at 147. And the next fight I would like to see him fight is either Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, or Danny Garcia. All right, y'all. That's all I got. That's all I got for that post-fight discussion on Terence Crawford versus Horn. All right, moving on.